to another eDesign Codemakers tutorial for game design. In this video, we're going to finish discussing some of the advanced concepts in using the GameMaker Studio tool. Specifically, we're going to discuss executing pieces of code within our Actions menu. So let's get started. What I've done is brought up one of our objects that we looked at previously, which is the dark flask. As you can see, we're taking a look at the green flask event when it collides. The action isn't the generic actions that we saw in other ones. So if we look at our brick, we can see that it's just a bounce. And in create, we set a direction. But for the green flask, we needed something a little more special. And to do that, we have to execute small pieces of code. This is a nice feature in GameMaker. GameMaker uses its own language, just called GML, or just GameMaker language. So let's take a look. For the actions in running a piece of code, as you can see, there isn't a lot of code that's in here. But you'll need to figure out which pieces that you need in order to make something happen. GameMaker actually has a nice reference online that you can take a look at. So for this object, we want it to bounce. So I've set move bounce solid to true. Now, one of the things that isn't in the generic bounce event is the ability to increase the speed. So that's why I've had to run a small block of code, because I want the speed to increase, just like a breakout game. As you move up in the tiers and as the ball, or in this case the flask, bounces more, its speed needs to increase. So therefore, I've multiplied our speed by a factor of 1.25, or increased it by 25%. When we take a look at the second chunk of code, we wanted to set the score to something very specific. You can set the score within the generic action, or we can use the GameMaker language to be very specific in what we wanted to do. That really concludes how to use the GameMaker language. I definitely encourage you to explore what can be done and what can't within the GameMaker language, because there's another option that we can use called scripts. We're not going to go into depth into scripts in these video series because that's going to be part of your GameMaker challenge. You're going to need, in order to figure out things like timelines and scripts, to create more complex games than the example we provided. I hope you enjoyed watching this eDesign Codemakers tutorial for game design. Thank you.